What's up guys, Darius Cosden here, and as you can tell, I'm sorry once again there's no Vlogs of Knowledge episode this week. The reason why there's no Vlogs of Knowledge episode this week is the same reason as last week. I've been studying, and even more studying. Like, studying is all I've been doing for the past week and also for the week to come. I have 4 final exams coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And these exams, usually in the past, I would do very well in exams. Like, I didn't need to study that much. I could just like barely study and still manage to pass because the courses were relatively easy. This time they're not. They're actually not easy at all. It's the final level of my program and the courses are getting hard. It's heavy math, like big equations that are like a page long. And I actually have to study. Like, it's the first time in my life where I actually am stressed and I really want to pass, and I have to prioritize my school over YouTube. But I can promise you this will be the last week that I'm gonna have to be studying. After this, I'm done school, in the sense that I don't have to go to school anymore. I just have to take a few online courses next semester. But all in all, I would be done school, so I can focus solely on YouTube. And trust me, next week's episode is a good one. The script's already ready, everything's written down. I've planned everything out, and it's also a story that I really love, that I grew up with, so it's going to be sick. But now I still did not want to just not upload a video on Wednesday, as I always do, because I kind of like, I've been uploading every single week for a long time now, and I sort of don't want to break that streak. So instead, I thought what I could do for today, instead of posting a Vlogs of Knowledge episode, I could just answer some questions about myself, tell you a little bit about who I am, what I'm all about, so that you can maybe get to know me. You know, I'm the host of Vlogs of Knowledge, and maybe some of you want to know who I am, why I do what I do, and just what I'm all about. So I hope that you're gonna enjoy this video, so let's get to it. So my name is Darius Cosden, I'm 23 years old, and I live in Montreal, Canada. I was originally born in Romania, but I moved here when I was 5 years old. My parents immigrated, really to give me a better life, because in Romania, things aren't that good. There's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of things that aren't that optimal, at least compared to Canada, and they just thought, you know, let's move to Canada. It'll be a much better life for me, and now for my brother too, because I do also have a 12-year-old younger brother, and that's the reason why they immigrated here. And I'm extremely thankful for that, because it's because of them that I'm able to do YouTube. I really don't know if I would have been able to do YouTube in Romania. I don't know if I would have came up with it. I don't know, but either way, Canada is a much better place to live than Romania, so I'm very happy about that. I'm a student. I go to university here in Montreal. It's a university called Concordia, and I study economics. Economics, it's not really the funnest topic. It's not really the funnest major out there. The reason I chose it is because, to be honest, I didn't really think it through. I just kind of went with whatever. It was an easy one to get into. You didn't need that good of grade to get into. So I just applied for it. I got rejected for the other things, and I went for economics. Honestly, economics is a lot of math. What I'm studying right now is pure math. Like I mentioned, big equations that last the whole page. It's like a lot of math. And I'm very good at math. I'm really good. I understand math because it's all logic, and I'm very big on logic, but I don't like math. Like, I'm good at it, but I just don't like it. And I thought there was a moment in economics, because the economics courses at the beginning are very easy, and it's barely any math in the beginning, right? So I thought, hey, these economics courses are very easy. Like, I'm probably not gonna have to do much math in this program. I was wrong, because as you go further and further, the equations become longer, there's more and more math, and it's really just, it's a headache. And that's what I'm having to deal with for these past 2 weeks. Now, besides school, I'm actually a person that does a lot of things. I have a lot of hobbies. For one, I like to play sports, soccer being my favorite sport. Coming from Romania, being European, like, soccer is in my blood. My whole family would play soccer. My dad and my uncle were both, I think, my uncle was professional, my dad was semi-professional back in Europe, back in Romania. So in like the world scale, that's not that good, but like for Romania, that was good. Like, my uncle was professional, and I kind of like got that passed down through my genetics of being good at soccer. So besides soccer, I also like to read books. I read a ton of books, as you can probably tell. That's why I have a channel called Vlogs of Knowledge, because I read a lot of books. I love history. I just love learning about stuff in general. I'm curious about anything, whether it be physics, history, philosophy, psychology. Psychology is a big one. I read a lot of books on psychology. Really, anything about how things work is gonna get me interested, and it kind of goes hand in hand with my economics, because economics is the study of how things work. It's the study of how the markets work. It's the study of how people make decisions based on their values, of what they value things. Like, if you like something, you're gonna spend a lot more money on it. So it's really all rational, and that kind of fits in with my whole idea of like wanting to learn more, wanting to understand how this world works. which is why I'm very interested in like I said, psychology, because psychology is how people think, how people work, but also history. It's how people have done things in the past, how this whole world came to be to our level today, how we got to this point, right? All of that interests me. And of course, I like to make videos. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, so obviously I love to make videos. I wouldn't be doing my YouTube channel if I wasn't interested in making videos. I've been doing videos ever since high school. I started out with this program called After Effects, where you would literally, you can make visual VFX, they call it. Basically like an electricity bolt coming out of your hand, or like you being, making yourself on fire, or you flying somewhere. Like some of these things, I was doing that back in high school. I even had like a green screen. I had a bunch of friends come over. We would like make plays, we would like make small videos. It was a fun experience, and eventually that evolved into what I do now, into making videos. But I had to go through a lot to actually get to this point. Which brings me to the big question that I wanted to talk about in this video, and that question is, what do I want to do with my life? And more specifically, why am I doing YouTube? Well, I'm going to start by saying that I'm a big believer in something called self-awareness. Self-awareness simply means being aware of yourself, being aware of who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what your strengths at. Just sort of knowing yourself and knowing what stimulates you, what motivates you, what drives you to do what you do. And that's not an easy thing. Like self-awareness, a lot of people don't have it because not everybody spends time with themselves alone. You have to really spend time with your thoughts, being alone, thinking and reflecting on your thoughts. Really, you have to observe your thoughts, kind of like from a third perspective, to really try to understand, okay, why do I like this? Why am I doing this? Like, what about this thing like stimulates me? What about this thing excites me? And when you figure those things out, you can literally build your life around those strengths. You can build your life around what you want to do. And once you do that, well, you're gonna be like me in the sense that you're gonna be happy. You're gonna be doing exactly what you want to do. So to answer the question, what do I want to do with my life? Well, it's not necessarily YouTube, but it's creating stuff. I'm a creator. Like I said, in high school already, I was making videos. I was making After Effects. Then I went to websites. I did websites for a long time. Then I also did music production. I was producing music. I also have a gift of writing. I can write very big paragraphs in a very short amount of time, which obviously helped a lot during essays in my school. And when you look at all of those things, what do they all have in common? Well, it's all based on creativity. So I think last year, or like maybe a little over a year ago, I realized that, hey, wait a minute, like I'm a creative person. Like all I've been doing was in one way or another stimulating my creativity. So then I kind of discovered that was like my starting point. Then I went with it. Like, what about this creativity? What stimulates me? What do I love to do? And honestly, for me, it's just taking things and like putting pieces together and creating like a piece of art, which is what my Vlogs of Knowledge episodes are, right? I mean, I write a script, which involves me writing. Then I think of the video, what I want to sort of do, how I want to present the video. Then I make the animations, I make all the characters. Then I put some pictures, and then I put it all together with music and everything, and it creates like a nice piece of art, which I share with you via YouTube. Which explains why I meant not necessarily YouTube, because who knows how long YouTube's going to be around for. But I just love to create things, and that's what I want to do with my life. I want to be a creator. I want to create things, and it's also why I started my second channel, because it's a different way for me to create things. It's a different style of creation, but it still stimulates the same thing. It stimulates my creativity. So that's really what I'm all about. That's really how I discovered myself, and this honestly took years. Like, it took years of just me thinking about myself, going deep into self-help books, and really just learning about the world and learning everything, and then just putting all that knowledge together and really figuring myself out. I'm 23. That's relatively young to have all that figured out, but I'm not complaining. Like, it's an advantage for me, because now I get to build my life the way I want, right? Like, I'm doing these videos, and I can really see both of my channels, my Vlogs of Knowledge and my second channel, going big in the future, which is going to allow me to do exactly what I want to do, to create videos for a living and not have to go to a job, go to a 9-to-5 work, and just really be able to create videos as long as I want, create as many videos as I want, and just really do what I want. So before I conclude this video, I just want to leave you guys with one thing. If there's anything that you're going to take out of this video besides getting to know me, take the bit about self-awareness. Self-awareness is key. Like, self-awareness is really the most important thing, I think, in life, because without self-awareness, you're kind of going in the dark. You're traversing life being blind, because you don't really know where you're going. You don't know why you're doing what you're doing. You don't know where you're gonna end up. But if you have self-awareness, if you know who you are, if you know what you're all about, you can then design your life to really fit exactly what you want it to fit. And that way, like I said, you're gonna be as happiest as you can be. There's no better happiness than doing what you want to do. And I'm living proof of that. Like, I'm having so much fun being happy. I'm having so much fun making my videos. It's just giving me pure happiness. And I just wish that all of you can experience what I'm experiencing. And I know that some of you are maybe a little bit too young to start really designing your life in such a way. Like, a lot of you are still in school. I totally understand that. But it's never too early to start thinking about it. It's never too early to start learning about who you are. I started at, I think, 21, and it took me like maybe 2 years to really come to the conclusion of who I am. And I'm still not done yet. There's a lot of things I don't know about myself, but the vast majority, I had them. So the earlier you start, the earlier you get to know yourself, and the earlier you can start building your life the way you are. Time is really the essence, right? Some people wait too long, and then it's too late. They have families, they have kids. You know, you can't, it's hard to change your life when you have kids, when you have people depending on you. So the earlier you do it, the better. So if there's anything you're gonna take out of this video, please take the bit about self-awareness. And I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. Again, I'm sorry that there's no Vlogs of Knowledge episode this week. I hope that you can understand that I'm in exam period and I'm studying really hard. I'm trying to pass my exams, and as soon as those are done, I'm going to be doing YouTube full time. I'm going to be posting regularly on Vlogs of Knowledge and also extra videos, probably twice a week on my second channel. So if you're not subscribed on my second channel, Darius Cosden, there'll be a link in the description. Please subscribe, because I'm going to be literally showing you everything that I do on this channel. How I make my videos, how I get my subscribers, how I edit my videos, the animations, all the success things that goes behind it, everything. I'm all going to be talking about in that video. Even things about self-awareness. If you want to learn more about self-awareness, because I only briefly mentioned it here, you can go on my second channel, and I'll be sure to upload videos on self-awareness, because self-awareness is key. I really believe that self-awareness is something that we should all focus on. And I hope that me talking about it right now maybe inspired some of you guys to really try to become a little bit more self-aware. Even though that you're young, even though that you're probably young, just try to think a little bit more about self-awareness and try to figure out who you are and what you're all about. So my name has been Darius Cosden. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all with a brand new episode of Vlogs of Knowledge next week.